Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Software engineer debunks Apple and Google's XRP endorsement claims. Okay guys, let's get into it. Okay, so wanted to go through this. There's good and bad parts to this, but the main thing I do want to clear up is just what this actually is, because I think some people have kind of got lost in the source with it a little bit. So I just want to clear up what's actually going on here, and just tell you what I think the positives. There's not negatives to it, but it's more just the reality, I suppose, in regards to this. So, okay, what's going on? So it's now been made so that Apple Pay and Google Pay can actually be utilized to buy XRP, right? And so, you know how it gets. You get the influencers who are now saying, Apple are endorsing XRP, Google are endorsing XRP. And so, I just wanted to clarify what this basically means. All it is that, Apple and Google are starting to get bigger in terms of adopting crypto. So it's basically them opening the doors to now accepting, their methods, their payment methods to buy crypto. I don't know if it's to trade, etc., but you can definitely at the very least buy crypto, and XRP obviously being one of them. So, in regards to this, why is this a positive? Well, obviously it's adoption, right? That's the positive thing. It's another method of adoption. So when we talk about mass adoption, the thing that you want to have is you want it to be as accessible as possible, right? Mass adoption is a thing where you don't even have to understand everything that's going on behind the scenes. You just utilize this thing to do whatever it is that you want, and it happens, right? So with crypto getting bigger and more widely recognized now, going more mainstream, you want to be able to know that if you wanted to buy certain cryptos, that you can literally just do that in any way possible, right? Like, you don't want to have restrictions, right? And that's why, for example, the ETFs are such a big deal, because for the people who don't understand how to utilize crypto, so they don't know how to make up a wallet, how to look after the seed phrases, doing transfers, understanding, the destination tags, and, what a crypto wallet address looks like, and understanding that, if you do actually incorrectly put in the wallet address, it will still allow you to send the funds. And if it's going into a wallet that doesn't exist, it just basically goes into a black hole, because, when you think about banking, if you do a transfer and the account doesn't exist, it usually just bounces back, right? But with crypto, that's not how it works. You send the money and it'll just say, are you sure this is correct? And if you say yes, it just sends the money. And if it doesn't exist, then that's it. It just gets lost. That's it, right? It's gone. So it's these kind of things where, for some people, they don't want to have to understand all this stuff. They don't really get it properly, but they may still want to invest in it because, let's be honest, we've been seeing how good your returns can be through crypto. So of course people want to get into this because it's a good method to get some good returns and investment. And so with regards to this now, this is obviously, of course, opening up the door for more adoption. It's making it more accessible. So that is a huge positive. I don't want to just completely make out that this is a negative thing in any way, shape or form. However, what this is not, it's not an endorsement by Apple or Google, right? It's not a thing where, they're now basically saying, hey, we really like XRP, so this is why we're allowing this to happen. No, what they're doing is just, they're moving with the times, right? That's what it is. So, gonna just quickly debunk this real quick here. So we've got here, look, how do I buy crypto using Apple Pay or Google Pay? So you can see right here, like, this is a thing where it's not necessarily specific to XRP. There's going to be other things, but you can just see how, people run with this. Like, XRP becomes easier to buy with Apple Pay and Google Pay, which that is true. But it's not just going to be specific to XRP, right? There's going to be other cryptos as well. So this is a thing of, adoption of crypto as a whole rather than, XRP. It's not going to be, hey, you can now just buy XRP alone. And this is why, again, I just want to make you understand with some of these influencers, just be careful, because they try and, make everything out to be like this silent, endorsement, or they're secretly got ties with Ripple and XRP, or they're invested, or, they're going to start using it, etc. It's not that at all. It's just them opening the doors to crypto as a whole and allowing this to be a new method of ways that you can, buy crypto, which, again, for them, it's going to make sense, because with how big crypto's getting now, they're going to want to be able to profit from it in some way, shape or form, right? So, you've noticed now how banks were so against crypto, but now, they're starting to get licensed to be able to do custody services and things like that. So it's going to be getting to a point soon where banks will be offering crypto services, right? Even though they've been saying how bad it is, they're starting to utilize it and they want to offer services for it. So this is what we're talking about, right? It's just moving into that mass adoption phase. It's not them, secretly picking, cryptos that they're endorsing or anything like that. They're going to go with the bigger cryptos. So obviously like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, anything like top 10 most likely will get some kind of, exposure. There can be other cryptos outside of just the top 10 if they still think they're popular, etc. But, the top 10 will be the most likely. I mean, I'd say the top 5 will be your first picks that you'll most likely get because they know how popular they are with them being the top 5. But after that, yeah, there'll be others too. So look, this is a positive. I don't want to just make this out to be like this is, a sad thing, but let's not make it out to be something that it's not, right? Like, it's great that you've got this new avenue, a new way for people to get invested, which again, like when you think about if this bull run is still intact, if it is still, at play, the more ways for XRP to be accessible, the better it's going to be, right? Because that means there's more avenues for people to invest into XRP. Because look, this is the thing, right? When the real euphoria comes, if we are still in this bull run, that's when people are going to be going crazy, right? Because what happens is they'll see the price shooting up, the price will go crazy, people will see it'll probably be on mainstream media news. So then you'll get the average Joes who come in who don't really know about crypto, but they're just hearing that these cryptos are going up in value. So they'll see, XRP shoots up, 1,000% in value, for example, whatever. And then they might just say, oh, okay, let me get involved. And so these guys are not going to be that clued up. So they're probably not going to try and get involved into crypto to a degree where they're learning the full ins and outs like, you and I would. But they'll learn enough so they can try and get invested, right? And so if you've got these access points like Apple Pay, Google Pay, etc., allowing you to get access to XRP, well, obviously that's going to be a huge positive, right? Because it means more people can buy the crypto. So to me, I'm not looking at this as a negative, but I'm just trying to give you clarity on what the reality is of the situation, right? So overall, this is good. I don't want to like rain on the parade too much. It is a positive, but just understand that this isn't like the big thing that they're making it out to be. Again, if you are seeing influencers who are trying to make this out to be something like XRP specific or trying to make out like, this is Apple Pay and Google Pay, endorsing XRP, it's not. So again, this is where I say, if that's what you're seeing on your timeline, I'd be maybe checking who it is that you follow and being wary of those people. But, with this still going on, this potential bull run, this is definitely a positive, right? That is definitely a positive. So I don't want to overlook that fact, but I do just want to give you guys the reality of the situation. So hope this has helped to clear that up. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.